accepting additional things on ourselves is great. Obviously, if it makes sense and if we're up to it and if it's appropriate for where we are up to, etc. If we can manage it without it causing more harm than good. But the moment that something extra we are taking upon ourselves starts to come at someone else's expense, that's a no-no. We don't get to voluntarily accept extra things upon ourselves at someone else's expense. So yes, it's true that Yaakov, as well as Yitzchak, as well as Avraham, as well as Yaakov's sons, were all already sufficiently connected to Torah. They were aware of the mitzvahs and they kept them all down to the finest detail, but that was voluntary. Hashem hadn't given them the Torah, they didn't have to. And now Yaakov had made an agreement to marry Rachel, and she also wanted to marry him. And for him to say, yeah, I've been looking forward to this for 7 years, frankly, but I kind of decided to keep the Torah voluntarily, and Torah says I can't marry two sisters, so, too bad. Well, he could do that to himself if he wants to, but he can't do that to Rachel. Him and Rachel agreed mutually to marry. She'd been looking forward to this for 7 years, and now he's going to say, sorry, I accepted something voluntary on myself, so too bad on you. It doesn't work that way. We don't get to accept things voluntarily on ourselves at someone else's expense. So because technically the halacha, according to the letter of the law, had the Torah already been given, he wouldn't have been able to marry Rachel. It would have been a problem. But it hadn't been given. So for him to do that voluntarily at someone else's expense, to do that by definition, and it's a very easy thing to happen. I just want to say it's not, when a person's passionate about something, and hopefully we are passionate about Torah and mitzvahs, and we want to try to always have the deepest and most strong and powerful commitment that we're able to have, and to always try to do as much as we can. And that's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Human nature is, it's very easy to get caught up in things, and we can get caught up in doing the most. Oh, I want to do this extra thing and that extra thing and that extra thing. The moment we do an extra thing at someone else's expense, for someone who has a clear head and is watching from the outside, it should be very clear that according to the most fundamental Torah values, to do something at someone else, to choose to do something that's going to come at someone else's expense is inherently counter to the most fundamental Torah values that there are, which is don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to yourself. Now again, the reason that I want to say this is because honestly, I'm sure a lot of people who have a very important and deep connection and relationship to Torah and mitzvahs, and try to do the best they can. And life's a journey, and we all have different phases at different levels of intensity at different stages in life. I'm sure most people or everyone can look back at a time and say, yeah, I got a little caught up there and I did that thing meaning well, but that was at someone else's expense. And that immediately should be yeah, that was wrong. Right? There's no such thing as doing something extra that the Torah doesn't require you at someone else's expense, and that being the thing that Hashem would want us to be doing in that moment. It doesn't add up. But again, it's not unreasonable that could happen, because we are human and we do get caught up in things. So, okay, all I'm saying is I don't want anyone to look back and to start feeling terrible about themselves because there was this one time when they went a little bit overboard and, it came a bit at someone else's expense. And we're all human. It's okay. We're supposed to be human. But at the end of the day, it's not the right thing. So that's why Yaakov married Rachel, even though he had already married Leah. That's that.